It is cold here, but I still love drinking my brandy because it really helps me cope with this winter. What's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about Bhava Chalit chart again, and we're going to be talking about how exactly do you do predictions when you look at your Narayan Bhav Chalit chart and you see that some of the planets have moved, or one planet has moved into the other house in a Bhav Chalit chart. Well, in order to first start this, those of you who are new or medium new or medium new to this channel, in astrology, especially Vedic astrology, when you get your horoscope, especially when you get my book and I send you the link to look at your own chart, um, when you look at the horoscope, you are also able to see your Bhava Chalit chart. As in, Bhava Chalit simply means the true positions of planets, true house positions of planets. Okay, so you have your main birth chart that shows, all the aspects and conjunctions and your rising sign, everything that never changes. That is as is. Okay, but then there's called Narayan Bhav Chalit chart, where one planet might move one house backwards. Okay, it will go one house backwards. So not all of them. You may not have any that going backwards, but good amount of people have certain planets going backwards. That's because of this concept in Vedic astrology called Bhava Madhyam. Bhava Madhyam literally derives from the fact that the rising degrees of your horoscope becomes the most prominent point in the chart. And obviously, any planet in any house that is close to the exact degree of the ascendant becomes very strong. Okay, becomes they tend to give good positive results. But Bhava Madhyam simply means is that if you were a Libra rising sign, okay, and your rising sign is at 10 degrees, so your first house is starting at 10 degrees. That means if a zodiac sign is 30 degrees long, the midpoint is 15 degrees, right, of that 30 degree zodiac sign. But if your first house is starting at 10 degrees, that means the midpoint is not really 15 degrees anymore. The midpoint is actually 25 degrees. Okay, and then the zodiac sign will end actually at 10th degree of the next sign. And there's a whole lot more explanation I have to show you visually and mathematically, which it's going to take too much long, and you guys don't need to know this because it automatically calculates it for you. Unless you go to astrology school, they're going to make you, they make you manually actually make all the dashas, make all the degrees of the planets and everything, which is actually very good. I actually like the fact that people get to do this, the old school way. But if you look at your Narayan Bhav Chalit chart and planet has moved, what most people say and most people have heard is that during the dasha of that planet, you will get the effects of that house and not the house it was in your birth horoscope, which is wrong. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say you have a Libra ascendant. Since we were talking about that, let's stick to Libra ascendant. Let's say you have the seventh lord, Mars, because the seventh house of our Libra ascendant is ruled by Aries, controlled by Mars. He is in the seventh house. No. He is in the eighth house in your main horoscope, in the sign of Taurus. Eighth house is what? Sudden ups and downs, family assets, family life, in laws. It represents surgeries. It represents death and rebirth. It represents government paying taxes, government taxes, earnings of the government. It represents secret and hidden things, the occult. Okay. So then Mars is there in your main birth horoscope. But then when you look at your Bhava Chalit chart, Mars comes into the seventh house. And then you get like, okay, what does this mean now? Okay, and then when you look for on the internet, like, oh, what does this mean? Then they'll tell you like, oh, you're gonna during the dasha of Mars, Mahadasha of Mars, you will get results of this seventh house, not the eighth house. And you're under that notion that that's true. That's not true. Okay, it's somewhat true. It's 60 to 70% true. What the missing part is that Mars, what it's doing during its Mahadasha, okay, is that planetary time period that everybody goes through. So Mars is going to bring the results of the eighth house into the seventh house. That means during the Mars's Dasha, you can have ups and downs in your marriage because seventh house is a house of marriage, legal bindings, legal partnership, business, and trade. So sudden ups and downs are coming in Mars's Dasha. spouse might be getting a surgery, or you might be getting a surgery during this time. The relationship with your spouse is going to have this severe ups and downs. And with your legal business partnership, there will be ups and downs. So if you are in partner with your friend in a cell phone business, and then your Mars Dasha comes and suddenly your partner is going against you, you don't realize where's this chaos coming from. That's what it really means. So Mars is bringing the 8th house significance into the 7th house. It's not just 7th house results, because then it'll be fine and dandy because Mars is in its own sign. It's strong. No, because Mars is bringing those into that sign. I'll give you another example. Let's say your 12th lord goes into the 11th house. Okay. So let's say for Libra ascendant, Mercury rules the 12th house. But when you saw the Bhava Chalit chart, it's in the 11th house. So when Mercury Dasha comes, what it's doing is not just giving you results of the 12th house, meaning that taking you to foreign lands, taking you to isolated places. But with you going to foreign lands and isolated places, you're going to get a lot of gains through it. Because it came in the 11th house of gains. So gains through foreign lands. Okay. So the significance of the 12th house is coming into the 11th house now. So Mercury is bringing the foreign land with gains. So you will travel somewhere outside the country and you'll get gains through them in that 17-year period of Mercury. Now remember one thing. Even though a planet is switching houses in Nirayan Bhav Chalit's chart, you're still going to use the sign that it's in the main birth chart as that sign placement. So if, let's say for Venus, for Libra ascendant, Venus is in the 2nd house, switches it to the 1st house in Nirayan Bhav Chalit's chart, it's bringing the significance of the 2nd house into the 1st house. That means the Scorpio Venus is now Scorpio Venus in the 1st house during its Dasha. Let's do another example. Let's say your 6th lord or 7th lord goes into the 6th house. You have a planet, not even 7th lord. Let's forget that. Let's say there was a planet in your 7th house in your main birth chart. And when you looked at your Narayan Bhav Chalit chart, it went into the 6th house, one house before. So what will it do now? Well, since it controls the 7th house of marriage, and it's going in the house of enemies, conflicts, disagreements, divorces, during the dasha of that planet, you will have a lot of obstacles, oppositions, disagreements with your spouse. Because the 7th house of marriage and partnership is not going into disagreements. Okay, and especially with the 6th, 7th, and 8th position, it doesn't matter where 7th house goes, or where, or if 7th or 6th or 8th lord comes into the 7th house, the 7th house will always suffer due to that. So you will have conflicts with your spouse. Your spouse will suddenly become your enemy. You are having disagreements with them, which can lead to divorce. Obviously, one planet is not going to tell you one thing, because you have aspects, conjunction in your married birth chart, which can still drive other factors into these things. Okay, so this is how you always look at a Nirayan Bhav Chalit chart, is that when a planet switches signs, okay, from one house to the other, don't just think it's going to give you effect of that house. No, it's bringing the effect of the main house that it's in your main chart into the new house, and he's going to express that through that house. Okay. So guys, this is my little small analysis and answer to your guys' questions from Facebook about Bhav Chalit's chart. Tomorrow we'll do some other creative video, but if you want to know where your planets are placed and if they are switching in the Bhav Chalit's chart in your horoscope, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology, the Speed of Light, and when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart so you can see where they're switching signs or not. But make sure you follow the directions below at the description. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up all you Chaos lovers? So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and please share my channel with all your family and friends who are in love with astrology. Because I'm the man when it comes to astrology, okay? So make sure you do that, and I will see you tomorrow with another cool new video, okay? Sorry, I love my coffee spiked. Woo!